great to see everyone tonight. What a great turnout. Thank you for braving the showers, and hopefully you can get in and out dry. Good evening. My name is Betsy Condon, and I'm the County Commissioner serving District 4, which you are in the heart of right now in Middleburg. So we thank you all for being here tonight as we kick off the construction of a project that will improve traffic flow throughout the county, increase public safety, and prepare for what's to come with the completion of the First Coast Expressway. Before I get started, I would like to just point out a few people in the room that I thank you for coming tonight. My fellow commissioner, Commissioner Jim Reniger, he serves in the Orange Park District 3. Sorry about that. I almost said 2, and I knew that was wrong. And I didn't see any of my other fellow commissioners sneak in. And then later you're going to hear from our county manager, Mr. Howard Wanamaker, as well. And there are lots of other county staff here, and I thank you all for being here as well. Growth and development are happening all over Florida, as you all are painfully aware, right here in Clay County as well, and we realize that. The project we're talking about this evening is the Bonded Transportation Program, if you've heard anyone discussing it. It is instrumental in managing the growth in Clay County. It is going to allow us to try to stay ahead of the anticipated growth of the roadways with increased traffic as we redesign our infrastructure to be able to handle that traffic flow. Unfortunately, it's painful while it's happening, but we all know it's necessary. Tonight, as I said, you'll hear from County Manager Howard Wanamaker, Bonded Transportation Program Administrator Ed Dendor, and Program Manager Carlos Campos with WGI. That's our engineering firm, as they provide background and overview and share what is expected as we start this series of projects. And the first project is right here, the widening of 218 in Middleburg. You will be able to ask general questions. Then we will ask if you have specific questions, if you can ask them of staff later. There are cards around, and they'll get your information so that we can make sure we answer all of your specific questions and the general questions and follow up with you. As more and more people come to our state and Northeast Florida, we know why they're coming, because it's so beautiful and we love living here, and they want to come and share with us in that. We can expect other things that will come with it, and we are working on those projects currently. Restaurants, shopping, recreation, and of course homes. With that comes more revenue, which will lead to more things for our residents. So I know that growth isn't always wanted, but it will bring about some things that I do hear that people want, which is restaurants and shopping and things like that, better roads, those things. So we are really trying as a county to be in the best position to handle the growth that's coming. We're proud of our county, and it's really our hope that generations to come will be proud of it. Now I'm going to introduce to you Ed Dendor, our Bonded Transportation Program Administrator, and he will provide an overview of the 7 projects.
Thank you, Commissioner Condon. Good evening and welcome, everyone. I appreciate everybody being here and fighting a little bit of rain we had outside. As the First Coast Expressway became reality, basically the county planners, engineers, analyzed basically the roadway needs and the capacities, and with that became the critical and deficient roads that we have in mind. We defined portions of the existing 6 existing roads for improvements, since they're already at capacity, and also 1 new road. Here in Middleburg, our first project, as Commissioner Condon had mentioned, is a project number 1. We use numbers, they're easy to track that way, which is basically County Road 218, or a portion of County Road 218. And we'll go in a little bit more, again, of that when our project manager, Carlos Campos, gets up. Another project out in Middleburg here is project number 5, which is improvements on County Road 220, which is from Baxley Road to just west of Henley Road. Then in the Green Cove area, we have 2 projects. Actually, the next project out of the gate is Project 6B, and that's actually the new roads from State Road 23 all the way up to Maryland Avenue, which is on County Road 315. And the new name actually for that corridor or section is going to be Cathedral Oak Parkway. And also it's been given a new county road designation, which is County Road 216. So if you hear County Road 216, it's associated with that new road. Then there's Project 6A, improvements on County Road 315, which continues that project east from Maryland Avenue all the way out to US 17. Then in the Lake Asbury area, there's Project 2, improvements to Russell Road, and that's from basically south of Peters Creek all the way up to US 17. Project 3, which picks up the north end of that, which is at, again, Peters Creek Bridge all the way up to Sandridge Road and turns onto Sandridge. And then Project 4, which is essentially Sandridge Road from Henley all the way to Project 3 on Russell Road. So from a timeline perspective, all 7 projects are going to be underway essentially at the same time over the next 2+ years. For the latest information, what we'd like everyone to do is go to the Clay County's website and use what we call affectionately our dashboard. And the dashboard is very interactive. Sorry to turn my back to you, but I do want to do a little bit of pointing. As you work your way into the Clay County website, and if you look at the bottom, there's a tab for each one of the projects. So if you're interested in County Road 218, you can actually touch that tab and it'll bring it up. The first dashboard you see is all 7 projects and they're in color, and you can zoom in, zoom out. You can actually zoom in and see the property in and around each one of the roadway projects. And as far as that goes, all these roadway projects will increase public safety, improve traffic flow, and throughout the county, as well as improve the drainage. One last point I'd like to make is the team's first and foremost key concern, that's safety. Safety for the traveling public, as well as for the family members who are working in and on these roads. They're working in the danger zone. It gets kind of crazy out there. We'd like to emphasize safety enough to drive with caution, be patient, and be courteous. Remember, these are our fellow neighbors that are actually working in those roadways. They're our sons and daughters that are out there trying to improve the quality of life that we live. This program is a major undertaking. It's taken a lot of planning before the actual work and construction takes place. I know everybody wants to see road construction. They want to see dirt moving, and that's actually started here on County Road 218. You've seen actually 4 of our pond sites that have been cleared. We call them pond sites, again, numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. The closest one is actually right behind the library here. If you drive down the road, you'll see it on the right-hand side. Our county staff and engineers have been working closely with WGI to plan, prepare, and to finally execute this program. So to support this effort, and specifically County Road 218, which we're here to talk about tonight, which runs from Pine Tree Lane to Cosmos Avenue, Carlos Campos, our project manager, is going to give you an overview and a timeline of this specific project. Carlos? Oh, there you are.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you for being here tonight. Again, I'm the project manager for County Road 218. We're the owner's rep. There's a specific EOR. Michael Baker's here tonight, and the contractor is Anderson Columbia. County Road 218 begins at Pine Tree Lane, and you head west for nearly about 3 miles and ends at Cosmos Avenue. The project was awarded, as I mentioned earlier, to Anderson Columbia back in July of 2021, and Michael Baker is the engineer of record, who's also with us tonight. The road clearing and grubbing operations began with the ponds. However, the roadway itself is going to begin in late September, contingent on this Water Management District permits and also the Army Corps permits. This project is expected to be completed in October of 2024. The County Road 218 project is made up of 4 lanes, 2 eastbound lanes and 2 westbound lanes. It has raised medians, bike lanes, sidewalks, curb and gutter with a closed drainage system. As Ed mentioned, it has 4 ponds that have currently been cleared, and the culvert at Dilberry Branch will be replaced as part of this project. Additionally, the signal at Mimosa Avenue will be upgraded for the 4-lane configuration. Driveways will be reconstructed to harmonize with the proposed roadway system, and property access will be maintained throughout the corridor during construction. With that, now I'd like to introduce Howard Wanamaker, who is the county manager.
All right, Carlos, thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. It's good to see you all out here braving the weather. Just a little bit of history and background. Ed and Carlos have gone into some great detail here, and I'll kind of just try to wrap it up for you, and then we'll take some questions. Once we determined that the county needed to make changes to accommodate the First Coast Expressway and these critical and deficient roadways throughout the county, we needed to decide the best way to pay for these projects. The cost estimated to address roadway capacity and build connections to the First Coast Expressway was approximately $129 million. The Board of Commissioners determined the fastest way to complete and fully fund the work was, and the best value for the taxpayers, would be through an infrastructure sales surtax revenue bond. These were municipal tax exempt bonds, and we had 5 years to construct these roads, and then those that bought the bonds would receive interest that would be tax exempt. These tax exempt bonds were issued in March of 2020. March of 2020. That should hit home. That was days before our first COVID case here in the county. We were extremely lucky to get the bonds sold just prior to the bottom falling out for that. And we're still living it today, obviously. They'll be repaid at a fixed rate through the county's infrastructure sales surtax, which is a 1 cent sales tax over a 20-year period. Using bonds allowed us to complete the work in the most cost-effective way. If we waited, to save enough money for each project, it would have taken decades to complete, and the cost of design and materials would have dramatically increased. Our goal is to have all this work completed, that's all the projects that Ed had mentioned there, by the end of 2024, within the 5 years for those bonds, and before the First Coast Expressway opens in 2025. Again, I just want to echo this that Ed mentioned, stressing patience throughout this construction. Please treat the workers and flaggers with respect out there. They will work as quickly and efficiently as possible to minimize the impact to you on the road in your commute. Now, just some information so that you all know what's going on. Today's not the only day that we're going to be transmitting information. Ed alluded to the website up there and the dashboard, which is absolutely fantastic. We've been working on that dashboard, and WGI has set it up. All those key indicators are listed up there that are there. But in addition, we will post all scheduled road work that will result in delays or detours in advance on our website. And on our website, that's under the news section there. And on our Clay County government Facebook and Instagram pages for those that use those social medias. You can also sign up for the road and lane closure report, and it's emailed out every Friday or afternoon. And when you go to our website, it's a pop-up window pops up. It says, please enter an email here if you'd like to receive correspondence and data from the county, and you will get that if you put that there. Now, finally, again, you can access this detailed project information, including maps and timelines, as Ed mentioned, on our bonded transportation dashboard. Now, open up for questions and any overall general questions that you may have. If you have some specific ones, I'd ask that you'd put your name and submit a card. We have them up front for you there. And we have Ed. Ed is over here. We also have our county engineer. Richard just disappeared. There he is. Richard's wearing this green shirt over here. He's been fantastic in his advice. You have the staff. If you don't mind, WGI and the staff, would you raise your hands? Okay, so those individuals over here with their, in addition to Carlos, can answer any of your questions. We have graphics that are laid out on the table, but again, hopefully we'll be able to answer a few questions here now. Sir, I think you had a question, or somebody raised their hand.
Could you tell by looking at me up there?
No, somebody raised their hand.
I have a specific question. You've actually pointed out somebody I can ask the question to, so I won't waste your time.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Oh, you got it. Yes, sir.
You mentioned timelines on the dashboard. Are you going to have your construction schedule on the dashboard?
The construction schedule, Ed, we can put that up there also. Yeah.
That will be on there as
Yeah.
well.
That would be very helpful.
Yep.
You got it.
So you can see where you're at and what's
Oh,
coming.
here we go. She's brought it. The young lady operating the computer has even brought it up. So we've added that to that
Up
too.
to this point, it's been kind of in general, if you would, like the fall of 23,
Yeah.
finishing the spring of it. So it becomes realistically at this point in time, you're targeting basically a quarter. But again, more and more information, the best information is going to be here. I can hand you and say, here's the schedule today, and I think we've had discussions.
Yeah.
Been in construction, that's going to change tomorrow.
I just want to know when the line between these two lots is being painted.
Well, and real quick on it too, the email that's sent out, Laura Christmas, our communications director, she's behind the camera over here, and Annalisa Winter is sitting over here. They provide this weekly email. It comes out on Friday. It is absolutely fantastic. I use it all the time. It's great to have, in addition to social media. I'm not a big social media person. Yes, sir. Real quick.
Okay, and I go over that every Friday when it appears.
Okay, good.
And I have not seen anything for 218 on it.
Not yet. It will be on there. Yep.
As we get to that point, we say, here's what we're going to start, where we're going to start, where the actual limits are. What we don't want to do is the same, the house on fire, we send it out and you said the house never went on fire.
Right.
And then you stop looking at it.
And I'll think, we'll
I
make sure,
appreciate
I think we have a blurb on it on tomorrow's anyhow. If not, we'll definitely put something on there. Got it? Yes, sir. Over here. Yes, sir.
Hey, Rich Klinsman,
Yes, sir.
I've been here for 35 years, and the only thing that's been consistent in my time here is the fact that everything is obsolete before it's finished. Everything, all the roads we have now with all the congestion on it, is you can't get around like normal people. As soon as these projects are done, they're going to be obsolete. What do you anticipate after 2025?
Well, I wish I could predict the future, Mr. Klinsman, really and truly. I think we put our best foot forward on the analysis that was gone over before. So these critical and deficient roadways, we're through a North Florida transportation study that identified these roads throughout the county that were currently over capacity or almost reaching capacity. I wish I could predict exactly how the flow of traffic will happen. And the best way I can describe it is this, and Ed has done a good job on this in the past. The First Coast Expressway is like the spine, okay, of a body coming through the center part of our county. These roadways and systems of these 7 bonded transportation projects are basically the ribs that allow you to travel east and west with ease from the First Coast Expressway and from the central part of the county. So with that, it's hard to anticipate when they would reach criticality, but rest assured that we can pivot, we can take a look at different things that are ongoing. What the biggest game changer is going to be is the Cathedral Oaks Parkway, or we called it the First Coast Connector. That connector that travels east and west, which I don't have a graphic up here right in front of me, I could show you, is going to be a game changer for both Russell and Sandridge, okay? And the studies that were done to take a look at the alleviation of traffic on those 2 roadways once that road is built and connects to from 17 all the way over to the First Coast Expressway. But rest assured, in life that I've learned, things are dynamic. Sometimes you got to pivot, sometimes you got to make a change, but we're going to go forward with this project here. It was project number 1 for a reason. Okay, and I'll say it, Ed didn't really say it. It was on the books for quite a long time, all the way from 2006. It is definitely needed. Okay, it is our intent to address the critical and deficient roadways with this road and those others. So in this complicated dynamic system, we'll take a look at it and adjust accordingly as needed into the future. Hopefully I didn't exactly answer it, but again, I'm not a soothsayer and I can't predict the future, but with these, we should see some differencing in the flow of traffic throughout the county. Yes, sir. Fine.
So with all these roadways already at capacity, if not over capacity, what is the plan to alleviate traffic with the new construction?
So, yeah, I mean, that's a good question. So right now you got a 2-lane road that's going to go to 4-lane, right? Not only in addition to the additional lanes that'll be there, but there'll be appropriate turn lanes. So whenever you're on a 2-lane road, you get stuck behind somebody that's trying to make a left-hand turn on crossing traffic, or a decel lane to get you into the right-hand turn to get into their particular parcel or property. This road here will have different medium breaks throughout in certain areas, and then we'll also address traffic flow through lighting, traffic lights, and that along the area. Now, in order to predict exactly what the number is going to be or how long you're going to stay in traffic, I don't know that right this minute, but I can tell you that at least the basic common sense thing is to go from 2 lanes to 4 lanes with these turning lanes that are in there and the traffic lights in there that will flow the traffic correctly should be a bigger improvement from what you're experiencing now. Okay. Yes, sir. Oh, over here. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. It seems that this 4-laning is going to eventually get to 301. What is the schedule? What will the next phase be?
Yeah, that's so that'll be to be determined, and And it really hasn't been addressed yet, but we do talk about it. Richard and I talk about this, and along with Ed. Really just the focus right now is to get us up to speed or up on step here with a project that was really desperately needed and to be first. But again, the safety of individuals traveling on the road is definitely a concern when we take a look at these turn lanes that are there, lights that are there, and that we're definitely focused on that. Richard heads up a safety traffic team that includes Florida Highway Patrol, the Sheriff's Office, and that we analyze accidents that are out there, school crossings, light, the duration of lights, and that a lot of that is discussed there real time on accidents that have happened.
One more question, you say starting at Pine Tree. So does some other group take responsibility for the intersection?
No, we have the, go ahead.
Which intersection are you talking
Well,
That pine tree you're talking
Yeah,
about?
because Pine Tree isn't at Blanding, it's a ways back. So I was wondering, why do we start at Pine Tree? Why is that?
Right. The question is, why do we start at Pine Tree? And if you're familiar with that particular section of road, it's already 4 lanes there, if you would. It has a median,
Okay.
so it's a great place to essentially continue that section of that profile, continue it west. That way it all looks the same.
If I might.
Oh, yeah, yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to add to your question. You didn't specifically ask this, but a gentleman in the back did, and it's a question that I get quite a bit, and that is about County Road 217. So I just wanted you all to know that it is on our legislative list to ask our legislative delegation to help us to fund to County Road 217. It's an expensive project because it has drainage issues. The bridge is not rated to handle the semis that we know DOT loves to reroute from 301 across there. And we know we've seen increased traffic with the First Coast Expressway and trucks not going on the toll road. So that is on our radar screen for an immediate action. We talk about it quite a bit from a safety perspective. So we don't have an answer for you on County Road 217 tonight, but we are working on that. We just aren't ready to announce anything.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go here. Yes, sir. Preacher.
I tell you what, I actually do have a question.
That's okay. Yes, sir.
Matt Wells, I've
Okay.
been Clay County resident right here in Middleburg for 35 years.
Okay.
With respect to this map that we're looking at here, is this basically carved in stone, or is there amendments that have been made to this map?
Well, they spent the past 2 years figuring it out. We did, even though it was pulled off the shelf, they did their modifications. A lot of it and the complications that go into it is right-of-way acquisition, ponds for stormwater, and that acquiring that right-of-way requires us to purchase that from different parcel owners. If you have a specific thing that's in front of your parcel, I would just ask if you get with Ed or the group to ask that specific, if there's something you're looking to change. We'll take a look at it. That's why we're here too, to take these comments in. You know, nothing is a perfect world. We'll take your comments and we'll be able to tell you real time on it.
I actually expected somebody would have asked the question already, because there's a lot of us that won't have access across the median. In other words, if we're
Correct.
in
Yep.
westbound traffic and we're on the east side of the median. we're not-
Yes, sir.
And there's a couple of things here on the map that I'd like to ask specific questions.
Sure.
Somebody should ask specifically.
Yeah, you can ask Ed or Carlos here specifically. And then, you know, when you look at these things, it's difficult from a safety aspect to address every turn-in, every driveway along that. You know, a lot of people think, okay, we just put a left-hand turn center lane all the way down, and that. I don't know if many of you have tried that on 220. We've got issues there that we're going to address. Lots of accidents that happen there, and it's hard. In an older, in a more mature area of the county, like the town of Orange Park, you can see that not every business, every parcel has that access to cut across the median there.
Agreed.
You have an alternate way to
I'm
go.
sure
and
somewhere
it's
there's some
difficult.
criteria that's very specific with respect to the safety issues.
Yes, sir.
Is there some place we can go, and for those of us here that have been kind of cheated out of access in this project, is there some place we can go to see the criteria that's put forth? with
The
respect to
engineers
safety
can talk to you about it, and they can tell you what they've
This guy
used. Him or Carlos or that, yep, either way, yes, sir, I'll talk to you.
And Mr. Wells, we're actually closing on 220. I don't want to steal from Howard, but
Go ahead, Richard.
it kind of didn't work. And we've got a project now in the next 18 months that'll actually close access points to a Target and a Walmart. I don't see any along this space here, but that's what we're saying. We don't want to open this up. You can drive down Henley and see what it looks like.
No, I truly understand,
So,
and with respect to
we've gotta
safety
have some
issues,
choices.
I understand 100%. My question would be though, with respect to the
We'll
criteria
look at the individual ones.
that's chosen. Okay, good,
Yeah,
that's what
we
I'd like
would
to see.
definitely look at it.
Yes, sir. No,
I'm sorry I was late due to traffic.
No, you're okay, sir. You missed it. That was a perfect setup.
But I'd like to talk about the 4-laning from Landing to Henley.
Okay,
Is that-
sure. Can we ask you offline on that? This is just 218,
Okay.
but Ed can definitely take care of that, or Carlos right here, sir.
Okay.
Yep,
Thank you.
we'll answer your questions on that. And by the way, like, we've kind of talked about this. We have other areas on our website that talk about traffic in the projects throughout the county. There's other graphics that we don't have with us here today. List all the projects that are ongoing, like Commissioner Condon mentioned, 217 and others, and where that funding comes from, either at a state, federal, or county level. Those, and then the bonded ones are also listed. It's a really nice graphic, and I asked Richard and the team to set this up about a year or so ago, and that's our list of actionable items to work through. If you have other concerns or whatever, that's another point we can take here today. Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Richardson.
Right away for 218 already been bought.
Has it all completely been?
17 years ago.
Oh, yep, 17 years ago. There you go. There you go. That was an easy question.
2006, so
How about
16 years. They probably have
Anybody
computers by now.
else? Listen, I really want to thank you all. What great participation for you all to come out and brave the weather. Listen, if you've got some more, we'll see you offline here and I'll turn it over to Commissioner Condon to wrap us up. How's that? Yes, ma'am. Go
I
ahead.
just saw that Commissioner Mike Sella
Oh,
walked
yeah.
in,
Yep.
and I just wanted to recognize
here.
he's here as well. And the three commissioners probably know the least to answer your specific questions. But they do update us on them at every meeting. Every 2 weeks, we get updated and we can answer them. But specific questions, you're better off with the engineers. But I do want to thank you all for coming out tonight, and I will stop stealing the microphone. Have a great night, and hang around and ask your questions, fill out the cards so that we can get back in
I can show you how
touch.
to sign up for the newsletters if anybody wants to look at that, or kind of see
Annalisa
how
will
to use
help
the
you do that.
dashboard.
And library
Perfect.
cards.
Thank you. All right.
Library card.
Have a great evening.
Library card.